texted me after you did, and I'm like, well, how many people can be on this show? Minister of comics and stuff, but I mean, how much is too much? And so,
and we're live. Welcome.
What the hell?
Welcome.
You did it back to me.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen, and that was Jess Bragg just pouring out his heart. I don't know where they came from.
You hoser! I trusted you. I'm glad you're a Bears fan. You deserve it.
That's a horrible thing to say to somebody. That is an awful thing to say. That's the worst thing you've ever said to me. Literally. The worst thing you've ever said. Guys, we are back with another Super Squad D video. I'm Tyler T-Bone. I don't know why the name is not coming up. And this is
Omnidog. And you are a rookie. You can't even get the names up.
I don't know how to work technology. It's hard. So I thought it would be fun today to do a quick show because I wanted to talk to a new Transformers collector. Now, Jess, you've collected a lot of things over the years. What all have you collected?
I've collected comic books, action figures, vinyl. I've been a vinyl collector a long time. Lunch boxes,
yep,
statues, cereal boxes, lighters, spritzers, those carbon dioxide spritzers.
Wow.
You saw in the Three Stooges where you spritz all the place. I have some Art Deco ones of that. Art Deco stuff. Yeah, I've collected a lot of things.
Yep, that's good. But you never once thought in all those years to collect Transformers, right? Tell me about that. Have you ever? Why did Transformers never appear on your radar? Because you knew about them, right?
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, I think, is when they became a toy. And I was in my 20s, and they were just toys. And so in my 20s, I was that it just wasn't on my radar. So I never thought about them. And I never thought about them during any TV show or any movie or anything. They were just, I knew who Optimus Prime was, and that's about it. But they were toys when I was a young man, so they weren't on my radar.
Have you ever seen the show or the movies?
No.
Neither.
No.
Neither. Okay, so that's so interesting to me because now you love Transformers, right? I would say out of everything you collect, Transformers is probably number one, maybe number two.
Now, I think I still am I'm still primarily a comic book collector, and then action figures come second. But then toys as a general thing is a strong third, and then vinyl. Those are probably the four things.
Yeah,
I would say I collect.
That's a very slimmed down version of what you told me you have collected over the years, because you've collected a lot of stuff, as you mentioned before. For action figures and particular Transformers to be as high up on your priority list, that's pretty impressive. So first I want to give a shout out to a few people in the chat. We got Omnibuddy here who Omnibuddy.
You know what's good about this video?
What's that?
Is that it's got none of your hyperkinetic editing in it, so people can actually follow it and not get sent into some kind of induced fit. It's just like a normal video. We can watch it, and we don't get seizures because
hyperkinetic seizures is a style, Jess. They almost. I mean,
it's your style.
I don't want to say that they asked me to go back and do the final cut on Justice League instead of Zack Snyder, but let's just say I was in the running. Okay, so. In fact, nope, that was the wrong one to highlight. This is very uncomfortable.
Hey, there's Marcelo. How's it going, Marcelo?
Marcelo's in the chat. Omnibuddy is about to start collecting Transformers, I believe. He's telling Omnibuddy that if you get a Transformers pop, you're into Transformers, and that's absolutely.
I didn't even know there were Transformer pops.
This is a good thing. We need some cutaways. I agree totally. That was a beautiful cutaway right there. So there are Transformers pops, I believe. Surely there are. There's pops for everything. Every franchise has a pop.
Into Omnibuddy's comment at 42020, I don't lump anything together. That's really not a term that a collector would use. I don't lump figures and statues into the same category. I might place them delicately in the same category.
So the same way that I handle vinyl is how you would handle this discussion right here.
I made that video specifically after I saw you handle that expensive piece of vinyl that you have. And also, I won't say his name, but one of the admins in the admin chat also was a new collector, and I saw him handle it that way. And I said, dude, you don't handle it that way.
Okay, you can say the name Ryan Sace. You can say the name Ryan. He doesn't know how to handle vinyl. It's fine.
No, it wasn't Ryan.
His name.
It wasn't Ryan.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, Omnibuddy does make a good comment here. Jess made an entire video just from Tyler's intro. I give people ideas, Mitch. Totally giving people ideas.
I don't get it.
He's in the intro on my vlog where I handled the vinyl. To make an entire video just off.
Right. You Omnibuddy, you are right. Yeah.
So what about Transformers? Because you've just started collecting them.
In the past 6 months, I would say, yeah.
So what about them? And I'll hold up one of my favorites here. This is a cool Optimus Prime, classic 80s style cartoon show Optimus. What about Transformers? Because you mentioned that you didn't get into the show or the movies. What about Transformers drew you in? What made you interested in collecting here in 2021?
That's a good question. I have a collector mentality, which can be dangerous.
It's a curse.
Yeah. So I must have been looking for something new to collect, and a lot of people are into him. You are into him. Omar's into him. Gabe's into him.
Is Omar really into him, though? It's hard to say because I never see him talk about him. So I'm not really sure we can say that he's into him.
Omar talks a lot about him, but I don't think he owns any.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not really sure how much he owns, but he definitely.
Okay. And I think Riley's into him. So I started to get intrigued with the fact that they were toys that could be like robots, and then you could manipulate them if you could. I mean, it took me 4 episodes of Omnibros to get what's Battle Buggy's name again? See, I don't know the names yet. I will eventually. I'm still a rookie. Wait a sec. It's not Punch Buggy. It's
Bug Bite.
Who is it?
Is it Bug Bite?
Not Bug Bite. It's the Volkswagen.
Oh, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. It took me forever to get that one back into Volkswagen form, and it still felt like I was missing a piece, like the hood was missing. And but I like the fact that, especially these ones that you can turn into jets.
Yeah, there's some really cool.
Like there's this one.
It's so cool.
It's just that it looks cool to me. It's really nothing other than that. It looks really cool and fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I will say that this Wolverine and Sabretooth that are in this look ridiculous.
They look so terrible, dude.
They almost look racist, practically. Wolverine looks racist to me.
That's racist Wolverine and racist Sabretooth.
Wolverine in this.
Unbelievable, man.
Like, you wish it looked like this. It does not.
Man, it does not. Yeah, the paint applications didn't come out with nearly that much detail
No.
on them.
So I'm not going to concentrate on the figures very much.
That's fair.
Collector or no, another friend of mine, Nate Parker. He showed me that, and he's going to go with his hero clicks.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, to go in these. Yeah, Nate's into them, and he and I have been talking a little bit about them. It's just that they look cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Prime versus Prime is the collector's go-to. There's a very, I mean, they have refined this franchise over. It's interesting because they've refined this franchise over three and a half decades now, where they have
at least
they have the same designs. Like, this is a very classic Megatron design, right? It looks very similar to the original G1 Generation 1 Transformers from the cartoon show. But the figure itself, in terms of design of mold, which this is true of any figure line, right? They have refined the process and made them so good looking that visually they're just very appealing. So I could see why you would look at them and want to jump in. One of my favorite aspects of Transformers, and other Transformers fans or collectors may appreciate this, is you touched on it originally when you were talking about what you liked about them, is the fact that they transform and they can be in car mode and they can be in robot mode. And the actual act of transforming them is just, it's something about it that is, it's not cathartic, but in a way it is just relaxing. Like, you can just be playing with it. It gives you something to do with your figures beyond just sitting them on your desk and looking at them. You can mix it up a little bit. And like you mentioned, you were doing it on Omnibros. It's just, you sit there and you fidget with it and you transform it, and you don't realize how nice that is for a toy, especially when you have all these. I mean, you have gorgeous statues behind you. You have really cool statues, but they just look cool and they just sit there and there's nothing you can really do with them.
Except these are hot toys now over here.
Oh, yeah, those are like statues. Those are like posable statues. I mean, those are just, playable statues.
Those are things that I recently got into too.
Yeah, those are
reasonably affordable.
Yeah.
But you can pose them, and I love posing figures.
And that's what makes, I think, Transformers really fun to me, is the added layer of car to robot mode is just really fun, and they do visually look really cool.
Yeah.
So what about when we look at Transformers, there's a lot of different lines, because Transformers originally came about to sell toys. They made the show to sell toys, and they've continued to build on the franchise, and the movies have done a lot to bring in new fans. Marcelo here talks about the movie. He said he actually expected them to transform, not just morph, and he likes how the toys are awesome pieces of engineering. I agree totally with that. In the movies, I enjoyed the movies for what they were. I don't think I had very high expectations, other than I wanted to see big robots fight each other. And that's what I got. Like,
that sounds cool.
Because the plot was okay. A few of them were better than others. I've heard Bumblebee's great. I haven't seen the movie, but I just want to see big robots fight each other, and that was pretty cool. Mitch says it's ironic that the X-Men toys look racist.
I know. I should open that one up and show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, as a Transformers fan and as a figure fan, looks will do a lot to bring in new people, I think. But going back to what I was saying about how the franchise was built to sell toys, and they've created these shows and these movies and all that, they have a lot of different designs. I think for fans of the franchise, we all love the nostalgia aspect of it. We love the figures that look like the original versions. This is Soundwave. He's very cool. You have one. You just don't have him with you. I know, because he's right behind me.
We're working on a month now that you haven't sent me that.
It's coming up on a month. It's not over a month.
Well, I think it's past a month now.
Okay, well, we're not really keeping track of dates, Jess.
I sort of am.
we have the nostalgia factor of these Transformers to enjoy. And so like for me, I'm much more inclined to purchase a figure that looks like something I grew up with, whether it's the cartoon show. But you, on the other hand, because you don't have that nostalgia factor and you haven't even really watched the movies, you just seem to buy things that look cool to you, right? Tell me about your buying process. Like what goes through your mind with all the different lines of Transformers?
Well, I will. Well, first, here's, if you want to highlight me, here's racist Wolverine.
I do want to highlight you. I just had to figure out
how.
There you go. Yeah,
now,
man, that paint job. I mean, really, it really does look like a pre-kindergartner class to paint.
I mean, come on. That's like, first of all, there's no effort that went into that.
I mean, is the face green? I don't even.
It's got a green mouth and a black face. It's like Wolverine in blackface.
I mean, that's a bad figure, dude. There's no way to slice that. That's a bad figure.
Yeah.
That's a major yikes here. That's a major yikes.
Anyway, so my process is that first of all, I joined Hasbro Pulse Premium a number of years ago. Actually, due to you, because back when we were first getting to know each other, you would text me or PM me that the San Diego Comic-Con Marvel Legends special package was coming out. Like this year or last year, it was the Hellfire Club, and those at one point tended to sell out really quickly, depending on what they were. Yeah, they would sell out instantly once they went on the market. I don't know if they do anymore or if
they sold out. I don't think at least the Hellfire Club sold out quite as fast, but I'm still waiting on mine. I haven't gotten mine yet.
I still think it's for sale in Hasbro Pulse, but I don't know. Okay. Since I got it.
Yeah.
Because I joined Premium because I wanted to get first dibs on those San Diego Legends packs. So then I started looking through Pulse, the Hasbro site, at other Marvel Legends, and then there's also, I think, G.I. Joes and Transformers, and is there something else? I feel like there's 4 things that they have there. But so I started to look at the Transformers, and everybody was talking about them, and my eye would get, what would catch my eye is what they could turn into.
Yeah.
And what they looked like in robot form. Especially some of those Beast Wars ones. I don't even know what Beast Wars is. I'll be honest with you on all this. I don't know what half of this stuff is. Yeah, that dude can turn into that animal, and that.
I mean, is that not awesome?
That is really cool to me. That those things can change into those. That's really cool.
And their robot form looks so cool too.
That is really. Oh wait, do I have?
Well, I know you ordered the actual Beast Wars. I'm not going to get into where all the lines come from.
Okay, yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, you got that one. And then you pre-ordered the Beast Wars, which are the variants of those that are Walmart exclusive.
You got like a Dino bot or something.
Yeah, Alicon. That's such a good figure, dude.
That just looked cool to me. So that's cool. I got that. And of course, the thing that always gets me to spend money is free shipping.
Boy, that Hasbro Pulse membership. I'll say this. Hasbro Pulse Premium with the free shipping and the early access, for me, has made it well worth it.
Yeah, see, now this looks cool to me. That jet that this dude can turn into. Exactly.
So cool. The jet mode is great.
Okay, this is Starscream, and he is apparently popular.
He is a very popular character. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know who the really popular characters are or anything. I just know this looked really cool that he turned into this jet. And I think it's amazing that they, as Marcelo said, they're like engineered.
Yeah.
So that they can turn into something this cool. So I look at what they can turn into, and I look at what they can turn into, and I tend to want really big ones.
Yeah, the bigger, the cooler, right? The bigger ones, the cooler. And you've got some amazing big ones. Why don't you grab one of the big ones that you got? And I'm gonna.
I showed you at the beginning because I haven't even opened it yet.
It's so awesome. So Gristlefoot brings up the idea of Beast Wars. Beast Wars was a show that was my generation of Transformers. That came on when I was a kid, which was where they transformed into animals. So I had never until I didn't watch until later about the original Transformers. So that was really the nostalgia kick for me was Beast Wars. Gristlefoot also has a really cool thing.
Oh, okay.
The show The Toys That Made Us has a great episode on Transformers. Have you seen that?
I've seen the one on Barbie because Barbie was born the same year I was. I watched that with my wife. But now that I collect Transformers, I will watch the one.
Maybe we'll watch it together. Patreon exclusive.
Right.
Watch Transformers: The Toys That Made Us on Jess's Omnidog channel, Omnidog's Vault. All you gotta do is subscribe to the Patreon.
I don't have a Patreon.
Well, all you people have to do is make a Patreon for Jess and then subscribe to it. And then we can all watch the show together. It'd be great. Gristle,
I haven't seen anything. I don't know.
The animated movie is great, as is the vinyl soundtrack, which I handled magnificently, may I say.
Is that the one? What was the one that I think I gave Omar the one from the movie?
It's a good movie. Colored vinyl. You have to touch. So why don't you show us? You mentioned you love big Transformers. Show us your big Transformer.
I haven't made this dude yet. Obviously, he's still in the box. But this looks amazing to me that it could even happen. So it's got also, I mean, he's awesome. And then he breaks down into all these other little dudes.
I mean, that is incredible. I want that Devastator so bad. I should just pull the trigger on that and Scorponok. I don't know why I'm holding off. It's really a room thing for me. I don't know where I'll put them.
Oh, I know.
But they look so good. So good.
Yeah. So this just really appealed to me, and I got Scorponok on your recommendation. He hasn't come yet, but
they're both so cool, dude.
Yeah, and space is an issue, especially if my wife finds out, because I don't have any place to put them. There is a pile of Transformers boxes right here, and I don't know what to do with them. They're just sitting here piled up, whereas I have places for everything else, like like my McFarlane Batman figures and stuff like that. I really don't know what I'm going to do with these things when I put them together.
Why don't you show you had another big one in there, I remember, and it's a really cool one that I also don't have.
Really big one with all the
show that one and tell us what you thought, what attracted you to that figure, because that's a figure that I think people will be interested to see.
Okay. I think I've showed this before. I can only do it so it doesn't tip out. Let's see if I can get some light on it. I don't want it to tip out because then it'll be a disaster.
And someone will make a GIF of it and you'll live with this forever.
Yeah. And so,
I mean, that's just so cool looking. The beasts, and they all form a really awesome giant one. All the way. Also, Elmer, no, you did not miss Stink Buggy.
So yeah, this one just appealed to me because there were so many things to put together. I don't want to watch a YouTube video yet on how, but given the struggles that I had with Bumblebee, I look at this thing. I'm sure I'm gonna have to watch a YouTube video on how to put this together if I barely do Bumblebee.
That's so good, dude. Christian says you might be interested in the comics. I know Omar has talked a good bit about those to you.
Rick
Do you
Nelson,
have any interest in getting into those comics?
Rick Nelson was nice enough to send me the hardcover of the new series,
Yeah.
and I was honest with Rick. I just said, it just really doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it didn't tickle your fancy. I've not read them, but they've been on my list for a while, as I've really enjoyed the Ninja Turtle IDW series, and I really enjoyed the G.I. Joe series. That took a while to get going.
I'm sure if you're into Transformers the way a lot of people are, that you'll dig the comic. It just was not. It just wasn't for me.
Not yet. At least we'll talk in 2022, and we'll see how
it's not the Power Rangers. That's the other thing Hasbro sells.
Yeah, Hasbro does great Power Rangers.
So I'm not knocking the comic book at all. I'm just saying it's probably well done, but it just wasn't my material.
So you got into Transformers. And you started off at the deluxe line. You got a few of the Voyager, which are a little bit bigger figures, but then you went all in because the nicest, best line of Transformers are Masterpiece. Masterpiece Transformers. And these are the highest level of quality Transformers that you can get.
And I haven't even opened these yet.
Oh, they're just amazing. So this is a Masterpiece right here. This is a Masterpiece Road Rage, and I love him because he's a Corvette, which is my favorite car. It's a very cool Corvette, and he transforms. I love Masterpiece Transformers. There's been 50, 60, something like that, maybe more. I have probably 25 of them. They've really creeped up in price, but I love them. And there's a few. My Transformers collection is actually at my parents' house still, because when we moved, my Masterpiece Transformers, when we moved, I didn't have a good way to transport them, so I brought them very carefully to their house. And then we moved in here. I had space issues, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with them, if I was going to keep them or not, and where I was going to put them. And of course, I'm going to keep them, but I haven't made the effort to get them back because I don't have a full setup yet of where to put them. But these are a few of the Masterpiece that I have not taken out of package. This is a really cool ambulance. Cool. Really awesome ambulance.
That looks really cool.
Great figure. I just like the red. This is Ratchet. He's the medic, obviously, with the ambulance there. But he's just got really good contrasting colors.
Mm-hmm.
His buddy is Ironhide, who's also a popular Transformer. He's cool because he just looks like this awesome old 70s van. And these Masterpiece, they come with multiple faces, some of them, as well as part swaps and different swaps. And then I've got this Shockwave. This was a really laser wave.
I think Gabe has that.
It's a very cool one. So I've got Optimus and all those. Oh, you know what? Do you have some of your Masterpiece you can show that you purchased? You got that one.
Yeah, I like this one because it turned into the semi.
And it's the gold version of Optimus.
Right. And then on the other side, he's got robot mode and vehicle mode. So, and I'd love to tell you what it says, but I think it's all in Japanese, so I'm not caught up. I need Maddie to tell me what it says since she's.
I was going to grab it. I don't have it with me, but I just picked up. It was in my recent haul video. I picked up the knockoffs because they have these KO Transformers. For those who don't know, they're called knockoffs, but they're the same mold. They're just printed not by Hasbro or whoever makes these, Takara Tomy. And so the plastic is sometimes not quite as good, and it's real it had been hit or miss in the past, but I would say on average, these KOs are about 85% as good as the actual version of the figure.
Oh.
Sometimes 90%. But the cost of the KOs is often 20% of the cost of the figure. I mean, you're looking at, instead of $150 for these KOs, which again is the same mold, it's just made at a different factory. These are, I mean, you can get them anywhere from $30 to $50, and they're really nice.
Another
Good
masterpiece
option for people who can't afford.
because
That is one of my favorite designs of a Transformer, because one of my favorite Transformers is Lambor, also known as Sideswipe, and that is the same car model.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a Lamborghini, and I just always thought that was really cool, and so is Spin Out, and that is really cool looking.
Yeah, it is cool looking, and that's what made me get it. I have 2 others that I haven't opened yet that I'm happy to open on your show exclusively.
An Omnidog exclusive.
Oops, the top isn't done yet.
Yeah, this is a masterpiece, and you can see it doesn't look that big, but comparatively, like here's the Optimus Prime, right? And Optimus is way bigger than this right here. These are generally priced between $80 and $120, this size right here. And then the bigger the figure, obviously the more expensive they can get. Some of those Optimus Primes are $400. The newest Optimus Prime was $400. The newest Megatron was quite a bit as well, which is why I picked up the knockoff Megatron.
I didn't spend that much, did I?
No.
Yeah, I didn't. This is another one that I got because I like the semi.
Oh, it's so cool. It's another Optimus Prime Black Convoy.
Wait, I thought it was Megatron. It's not? It's Optimus Prime?
It is an alternate version of Optimus.
Oh, okay. I was fooled because it said Black Convoy, Destron, Unicronian Herald.
Oh my.
So so here's what's in this one. Because I thought this looked boss. And then I have the smallest masterpiece that I have.
Lloyd Wong says there's a sideshow Optimus that looks pretty cool, but it doesn't transform. I picked up an Optimus figure. Thought I had it out. It might be in my closet. I may grab it in a sec. And it's an action figure of just Optimus, and it doesn't transform, but it is really cool. My biggest problem is it's only like 6 inches tall. So it's pretty short. And I didn't really realize that when I got it, how short it was. But it's still a very cool and very posable figure, and I don't regret getting it. It just isn't really in scale with anything that I particularly.
And this is okay. I know I have some. I still have a couple more coming that are Jets.
Yeah, Jets are awesome.
But I like the pink.
Oh, she's great. RC. Yeah, she's super cool. And I like the little blast effect from her gun. That's really cool.
Yeah. So the pink Corvette really appealed to me.
Very cool. Her little backpack, or as they call it, the kibble on a figure, is not too big, which is also nice. That's a great photo right there. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Psycho Seb in the chat. What's up, Psycho Seb?
Psycho. How's it going?
My faction figure enablers, I'm doomed. Join us or die. Join the dark side.
So I have a couple others, but I think those are the ones you really wanted to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. So overall, I'm excited you're collecting Transformers. I think they're really fun. There is a collector mentality that goes along with both of us that we both share. But when you first get into a property, that's when it's really fun.
Yeah.
When you first get into something new, you discover all this stuff that you think is really cool. You're able to track down stuff you want. It's really exciting and fun. That's the best time to be a collector. Maybe not for the wallet, but definitely for the enjoyment of collecting. So overall, the only 2 questions I have left that I would love to get your insight on are, one, where do you see your Transformers collection going from here in the foreseeable future?
Nowhere.
So are you pretty much wrapping up your Transformer purchases for a while?
I have some pre-ordered into the fall.
Yeah.
I think I have about 5 more coming, and that's really going to have to be it. First of all, it's going to give me hours of pleasure.
Yeah,
to
seriously.
put all those things together.
Yeah.
And I don't have any more room for them, and I think that's a good number to enjoy. Is what I got. I got what I could afford, and I got what I could afford space wise, which is stacked up here. I'm gonna have to find some place to put them, but I think this will probably be it after the pre-orders come in, because I pre-ordered a couple of jets, and those look really cool. And so I've got jets, cars, and trucks, and you have a couple for me. One is the one that transforms into the boombox.
Yeah, Soundwave.
Yeah, cool. That sounds really cool to me. That one, and little cassettes or whatever that transform into cassette. That is boss.
So cool, dude. So cool.
I'm really looking forward to the year I get those.
Well, I'm glad that you're excited about Transformers. I'm glad that you're all in on it. Tell me this. Before we go, I'd love to know what advice you have for a new Transformer. If someone says, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting into Transformers," since you've just done it, what would you tell somebody who comes to you and says, "Hey, I kind of like the way they look. I'm not sure what I should do." What advice would you give them?
It's probably the same advice I have for any collectible, and that's buy what you like. First of all, buy what you like, and don't worry about the resale value. If it turns out you've got something that turns out to be highly collectible, that's just a bonus. Buy what you like and stay within your budget are probably the 2 most important things for a collector. You have to stay within your budget, or it won't be fun anymore. And the whole point is for it to be fun.
Yep.
So definitely do not. I personally, if you're a speculator, that's different than being a collector. If you're a speculator and you want to get a masterpiece because you see another one selling for 3 times the price, that's a separate thing than what I am. So you'd have to do that on your own. If you're a collector and you want to have fun with them, then get what you like and don't spend too much. Stick within your budget.
Great advice. Great advice. Well, Omnidog, thanks for being on the channel. Thanks for giving your perspective. I love hearing from you. I love collecting with you. You're a great friend. We've had a great time talking about Transformers.
We have.
I've really enjoyed seeing you get into them, and I'm looking forward to see what the future holds. I got a feeling there is more, even though you don't think there is. I got a strong feeling.
I am not collecting G.I. Joes. Forget it.
Oh, no. There's more Transformers now. G.I. Joes is 2022. Don't worry. We'll cross that bridge in 2022. So where can they find you?
They can find me, thank you, Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram.
And you guys can find me right here on Super Squad D. Hit that like button if you like seeing Jess's face on YouTube. Hit that subscribe if you haven't done it already. You can follow me over on Instagram at SSD Toys if you like toy photography, at Super Squad D Live if you want to get channel updates and other nonsensical musings like my hot take on the Snyder Cut. Anyway, guys, thanks a bunch for checking it out. We'll see you next time on Super Squad D, where the D stands for Dynamite. Peace. Woohoo! Yippee!
Yippee!
Woo!